Grab it.
Yeah, hi. I'm Jitske. I'm not a Hurdy student, but I'm a Dutch citizen, and I work in Berlin for an international organization. I wanted to ask you, after the fall of your first cabinet, you have historically not allowed the PVV from Geert Wilders to enter any coalition again. Now, in the new elections, your party changed their mind about this, and maybe thinking it would get more votes, but it actually had the opposite. Most of your voters tended to go towards the PVV, giving them a historical win. Now, we talked about mistakes earlier. Would you consider this to be a mistake and something to be lessons learned, especially considering the AfD in Germany also could get more recognition from the CDU, leading to not more CDU votes, but more AfD votes?
No, I was, and I still am, in favor of what my successor Dylan Jessicus did in terms of not any longer excluding the PVV from being in a coalition. And why is that? Because in 2006, when I was leading the party, and in 2010, when we were the biggest, we did not exclude the Geert Wilders party from being part of a coalition. And we even drew him into a sort of coalition. He was not fielding ministers, but he was part of the majority. But then in 2012, when we had, the problem is his party is extremely left-wing on all the economic and financial issues. He is left of the Social Democrats in that sense, and that makes it always difficult for my party to compromise with him. And in 2012, we had to agree on extra savings because of the financial crisis. And after 7 weeks of negotiations and concluding on some very small steps of increasing the pension age, for example, he decided after 7 weeks it was too much for him. He didn't want to do it because he felt he would lose many of his left-of-center voters to other parties if he would do this. This was in 2012. And then I said, if at the height of a financial crisis, you are then forcing us to call for elections, which in our case, because the Netherlands is slow in organizing elections, takes 4 months, and then forming a new government. So that means 5-6 months easily, where you do not have a ruling coalition which is in full power. I find it unacceptable. So then I don't want to work with you anymore. But you cannot do this till entirety. This is now 11 years ago. So I found it totally logical for my new party leader to take the step to end this ban of him being part of a coalition. I think it's only. No, I think what happened in the last 48, 72 hours in the election campaign is that people assessed who didn't want Frans Timmermans and the Social Democrats Green Party to become the biggest. That to prevent that, they were thinking it was my party who would then be the biggest, and somehow they made the calculation based on the opinion polls that they then had to vote for the Wilders party. So, for example, my party, 10 or 20% of the voters switched overnight to Wilders, not because they liked his program, but because they wanted to prevent Timmermans from becoming prime minister.